January is a month for the winter blues to settle in. Look outside. The weather is cold, the Christmas bills are coming due, and the kids are trapped inside driving you nuts.
And that's when many of us fall into a rut. So Studio 5 relationship coach Matt Townsend wants to help us get out of that rut.
De-rutify.
So what's really going on with these winter blues?
You know what? I think it's a lot of stuff. It's physiology. It's the doom of the snow that sets in. We can't go out. We can't work out. I think it's a lot. The bills were a big deal. We just got our credit card bill because I mean, not our credit card, our phone bill. We bought a bunch of phones. Guess how much our bill was?
Us too.
$1,200.
Oh, Mama.
But that was wrong. Okay. So we're not in a funk anymore. But the funk impacts all of us, and it's psychology, it's physiology, it's life, it's everything.
It affects everybody. Based on your Facebook friends chimed in on this.
We went on Facebook because where else to go? So we went and asked. So are you guys in a funk? What does it look like? And we asked this question out there, and we got an answer from Monica to describe what this funk is, and it was the most incredible description, okay? Funk stands for basically feeling unusually negative or cranky. The funk. If you fall into a funk where you feel unusually negative or cranky, you need to defunkify.
Okay.
And that's a word I made up.
Really? I never would have guessed.
Yeah. With Matt Townsend.
Yeah. Dr. Matt Townsend.
That's right.
It's going to be his next book coming out.
Exactly.
So how do we do it?
You have to do it. Now, this is what was great. On my Facebook page, we got a lot of ideas. So one way they talk about is you distract the funk, okay? So you get busy. And by the way, guess what one of the #1 ways to distract? It was so weird. Cleaning.
Oh, that makes
the ladies were bringing up cleaning as a great way to defunkify. Now, for me, that causes a funk. I don't want to get into cleaning, but they're like saying, don't just clean anything. Clean something you haven't cleaned. Clean something that will last forever, like a closet, not just your kitchen. So one way is to distract yourself. Go get a really good movie. Go escape. Go to movies. By the way, date nights are a great way to defunkify. But one of the keys is you distract from, and by the way, what do you think we're distracting from?
Monotony?
Monotony. Life, our thinking. Because what usually might have a tendency to keep us in the rut is the thinking and the pattern that nothing's going to change. So if you can sometimes upset the pattern by distracting yourself a little bit.
And you realize something has changed, and so it snaps you out.
That's exactly right. Okay, so that's one way.
Now, Melanie probably talked to us about something else we have to do.
Melanie's never been in a funk because she sweats it out. Another way is you can sweat the funk out. You can actually exercise it out. So one really popular way that was brought up on our Facebook was sweating, exercise, getting out, running. You know, the minute you do that, you're going to create endorphins, chemistry. So sweating is also about the whole body. You can do a lot, like getting some romance going again can actually change it. That may not be sweat, but that's just a lot of hard work.
It can be.
But it could be, it's just exercising. It's using your body to create some chemistry again. It's doing something interesting with your body. Get out, get running.
Well, you know, Matt, I always remember you telling us that on Thanksgiving, and you guys are all like your whole family together, and it's like, you go for a big old walk that day.
The mother of all walks.
And I'm sure that's
it creates a lot of gratitude when we arrive. And it actually, it's cool because we socialize when we go out and sweat it out. So part of this is you don't just have to sweat it out, you can also socially sweat it out. So it's exercise, it's anything, get into a regimen. And then, by the way, it's not a perfect regimen, it's just anything that creates chemistry, really, right?
And snaps you out of that whatever you were in.
Now check out another one, is serve your way out. So really another popular one we found was we got to get out of ourselves. And last time on the show we talked about a lot of arrows in. A lot of us get into focusing on us. But if we start projecting our arrows out, that's serving our neighbors, our friends, making meals. If you really like cooking, make meals to go out and serve. If you like helping or serving others, if you like cleaning, don't clean your house, go clean someone else's.
Two of those out. Go clean someone else's closet.
I know. Wouldn't that be good if they let you into their closet? A really cool one that a grandma brought up was the fact that just go spend time with your grandchildren. When you're sitting there serving a child, reading a book with your children, and it's no longer about you, what faster way to decrease or get rid of the funk than that? Another way is let others guide it out of you. See, there's a lot of people that notice you're in a funk before you do, right? Your parole officer, your friends, your neighbors, your therapist may notice it, but some of us need help. Some of us are in a funk where our doctors need to help us out of it. It's chemical. Some of you know flat out that it's not even, you know every winter you're going to fall into the funk. If you know that, then it might take a friend to coach you on it. Some of us might simply just need a friend to take us to lunch. And if you see somebody that's saying, you know what, you seem down and you're in a funk, don't just poo-poo it and say no. Why don't you just let them actually take you out of it? Let them go do something. You may also know somebody already that the minute you're with them, it changes your feeling. So if you can think of somebody right now out there that can just immediately change how you feel about about life, get them involved in your life.
It sort of goes with the last thing you were talking about, serving your way out. We could maybe recognize our neighbors in the funk.
That's right.
And by going and serving them, then it lets them let us guide them out of the funk. So it's 2 for 1.
But that's so hard, because then when we come to them and say, you seem kind of down, if we poo-poo it like, no, we're not, you have to let them in to let them serve. And a lot of people you can let in would be therapists, your doctors, your friends, your clergy, people that care about you that way. Last but not least is light. A huge percentage of people just flat out need more light. And I think that light, it could be symbolic for our physiology, where there are people that just go sit in front of like a blue light and that makes it re-energizes them and creates energy. There's some, though, that just need more light. So that could be, a lot of people mention prayer, meditation, anything that brings in a different view or more light. So that could be spiritual things, that could be better conversations, anything that brings you hope. I'm finding people respond so well just to like our quotes on Facebook, and it brings light. So if you feel like you're in a dark funk, maybe you need light. Simply opening up your blinds. So a lot of people talk about they go on walks and to get out more in the sunlight. They go on trips, on vacations. Every one of us need more light in our lives.
In different ways. Great ideas there.
Thanks.
In fact, speaking of, you mentioned earlier, the whole date night thing is a way to get out of a funk. You've got
this is huge.
Mother of all
We are doing 3 big date nights. You can see them there. January 25th is the one in Ogden. That's the one I guess I'd focus most on. If you're up in northern Utah and you want to get out of the funk, bring your partner on January 25th to Ogden, Utah. Peter Breinholt and I do a little date night. I do a 1-hour thing about how to reignite the spark, create some chemistry in your life, and then Peter does a 1-hour concert. Then we're going to do another one down in St. George. If you're down in St. George, you've already got some of the light. We are going to come borrow it. And on February 14th, a special guest, Hillary Weeks, we're doing a concert. These are filling up, so the sooner you get these, you just go to datenightswithmatt.com. It's $50, but if you put in Studio 5, you get a discount, 10%.
That'll get you out of the fun.
Yeah. Tons of fun.
Matt, thanks for stopping in.
Guys.
More information, of course, on our website.